Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Conway versus Cruse.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Mr. Conway, you are here today to prove you are not the father of 20-year-old Trayvon Cruse, yet find yourself in court today owing more than $53,000 in back child support. You claim that you've been arrested numerous times as a result of the child support, and you're ready to prove once and for all that you're not his father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are here in court with your sister, am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Cruse, you say you have zero doubt that Mr. Conway is your child's biological father and claim he's denying your son only to avoid paying the child support debt.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Conway, you say paying support for a child that isn't yours has basically ruined your life. Tell me how.
Yes, Your Honor. You know, basically, this $53,000, they say, oh, well, I'm paying child support in Nebraska, but he has two orders. One order in Nebraska, one order in Missouri. I didn't know nothing about exactly where they was in 2005 until I got arrested.
And you've never hired an attorney to deal with this issue?
Ma'am, that's just the problem. If I had to get an attorney, I had to get an attorney from Missouri, but I live in Nebraska. So it was gonna cost me way too much money to have an attorney in Missouri.
Well, I'm sure it'd be less than $53,000.
Yeah, it'd been a whole lot less than $53,000.
Yeah, it'd be less.
It'd been less than $53,000, Your Honor. But this is the problem. I was paying child support for him in Nebraska.
How does
She the one when it got two orders for him. Nebraska said don't even worry about.
How many times have you been arrested over?
About 10.
Christmas Eve.
About 10. Every time I get a house or an apartment, soon as I'm doing great. I don't care if I'm walking down the street and the cops stop me.
Right.
They pull me over. They'll stop me, and here I come.
You brought your sister. Ma'am, I'd like to hear from you. You feel like your brother has made the effort.
I feel like every time he gets a job or something, you know, he goes back to jail. By the time you've kept him from all that time, guess what? That job is gone. That apartment's gone. Now you're back on your sister's couch.
So you basically have witnessed this cycle. If you've got that going on in Missouri and Nebraska and you want to understand and you say, but I'd have to hire a lawyer in Missouri, well then hire a lawyer in Missouri. Ms. Cruse, I want you to chime in on this because I want to understand this better.
Edwin has not did nothing for my son.
You didn't let nobody see him.
You can call the car, $29, this. I called Nebraska because he tried to say this story a long time ago that I'm paying in Nebraska. I call and I say, well, what, you know, give my
Why is Missouri
So
not worried
you've
about
tried to straighten this out.
Try to straighten it out. They said, we don't have, I said, look, this guy's calling me, harassing me, saying they're taking 700 and something out of my check. I said, I'm not receiving nothing. I'm not receiving no aid for the state or anything. So why am I not getting my money? I want my money if he's paying it.
So you haven't received any support?
It's impossible.
Off and on, $29.
Impossible, Your Honor.
$29 here, there's some $3 here. He ain't did nothing. Probably altogether maybe $5,000 over 20 years. I don't really know.
Really?
It must have been.
Well,
you never paid child support.
One at a time.
Well, if I was getting it,
One at a time.
I had to
hold it. You ain't doing nothing.
Let's get some order. Trayvon is 20 years old.
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
Were you at his birth? Did you sign his birth certificate?
Your Honor, I couldn't sign it. The day I asked her to sign the birth certificate, she told me no. I asked her to sign the birth certificate. She told me I didn't have to sign it.
That's a lie.
Did you say that, Ms. Cruse?
She told me not to sign the birth certificate.
He came up
you know
and
what?
took
That's
the
why my
joy
name
of
is
the-
not on his birth certificate. But on
Jerome,
other
let me
kids'
see
name-
that evidence, please.
On other kids,
can't-
my name is on their birth certificate. She told me not to sign the birth certificate.
You say she didn't let you sign the
She
birth
told me not
certificate?
to. In the hospital room, the nurse came in. She told me not to sign the birth certificate.
Wow.
Tell me I'm lying, TT.
Ms. Cruse,
lying.
Is that true?
You lying.
Come on, TT.
You lying.
Boy, I tell you.
You lying. Your Honor.
Well,
at
why
that
isn't
time,
he
I was
on this birth
19 years-
certificate?
I'm not on the birth
Because
certificate.
he was missing in action.
I was at the hospital when he was born. You had a C-section. I was there.
Exactly. You was there, but you was missing
come
in
on,
action.
T.
You wasn't there when the.
Come on, I was
they don't
there
just
when you had to
bring
see.
the
I was
birth
right in the room with him when he
certificate.
came
Let me
out.
talk to the judge.
So what you're saying,
Your
Ms.
Honor,
Cruse, is
they don't-
by
what are
the
you talking about?
time
It was
they brought
time
the
for all
birth
the-
certificate,
exactly. They don't.
he was not there.
He wasn't there. He's back in the
I was-
streets. like
I was
he
in the
used to
room.
do. That was all the relationship.
On the way home
was
from the
about.
hospital that night after you told me not to sign
You
birth
all
3 days at a
stop
time.
talking over one another. I cannot hear you. Proceed, Ms. Cruse.
He was there when I actually had the baby, but they don't just bring the birth certificate. here's your baby, here's a birth certificate for sign. No, you had to stick around. He was there for the joy, and then he's gone like he always did. He wanted to call and come and look, you know, oh, that's my son when he's in football practice one time of his life, no birthdays, no nothing. But no, this is all a lie. He's just now coming up with all this.
Mr. Conway, your name is not on the birth certificate. You've expressed today that you wanted to be on the birth certificate. If you missed the opportunity to sign the birth certificate in the hospital, why not make arrangements at a later date?
Exactly.
Your Honor, she left town. She left town. We was doing all right. We both had a job. We happened to lose our apartment. When we lost our apartment, she hit the corner. She was gone for 9 months. She came back in June. Told me in July she was pregnant. She had the baby in January.
Right.
That's 7 months. The baby got to be 9 months. Come on.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. What is that you're holding?
It's a calendar.
I'd like to see that. Jerome, will you hand me that evidence, please? So you've made a calendar.
That's right.
To outline to me how this
right.
has happened.
And that's 7 months. You can't have a baby in 9 months and 7.
So you're saying she left and then returned home in June?
Yep.
She told you she was pregnant in July.
Had the baby January 17th.
Then had the baby January 17th.
That's right.
That's right.
So you counting back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, even if it was 6 or 7 months, you're saying it's not enough time.
Not enough time.
Was
Came back pregnant,
Trayvon
Your
a
Honor.
full-term baby?
Yes, he was a full term.
She came back pregnant.
And Your Honor, I had a job, so I can't just go somewhere in 8 or 9 months and then whoop, come back.
So you're saying you weren't gone that long?
No.
Oh, Your Honor, come on. Yes, she was.
That must be, you know,
left every
again, he
weekend,
got
Your
selective.
Honor, come on.
He got selective memory. No,
Bottom line is, this
He's a liar.
6, 7 months
Bottom line.
pregnancy, in your mind, you're saying, you
Yeah.
tell me you're pregnant in July, we having a baby in January, this math doesn't add up.
Math don't add up.
And now you're almost close to $54,000 behind in child support.
Yeah.
And you say there's absolutely no way this child could be yours.
No, Your Honor.
But yet he
No
was
way.
yet he was there when I had the baby.
And was mad because he didn't get to sign the birth certificate.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
That is when I started having doubts when she told me not to sign the birth certificate.
Nah.
Oh, so you didn't have doubts when
At
the
first,
pregnancy
yeah,
was
but
6
she
or
told me-
7 months?
All them doubts started when she told me not to sign the birth certificate. And then the first time my mom seen him, my mom said he don't even look like us.
So the point
that's when
is,
this got started.
the time frame gave you a little doubt, but you were going to push that aside.
Yep.
You came to the hospital, you were going to sign the birth certificate,
Yes.
you were going to be the father. But then when she said, she said, don't sign the birth certificate.
That's right, Your Honor.
She says you missed it.
Yeah.
That's what
Street
fueled
Adam.
your doubts even more.
Yes, Your Honor.
Trayvon, this is a lot for a young man. Growing up, did you know that Mr. Conway was your father? Is that what you were told? There's no name on your birth certificate.
I mean, yeah, I knew that because a couple times he came down to visit me. He tried to call me when he did. But me and him is way different. I remember him taking me into a strip club.
Strip club while
to
he had a
call,
beer.
because he said he wanted to call. And he said he wanted
Yes,
to
he
call.
did.
And see when the
Strip
plane,
club.
Let the young man testify.
he said he wanted to see when the bus was coming. The dude at the door said, I can't come in because I'm too young. I sat down back by Salvation Army in the Greyhound until he came out. He's inside for like 15 minutes. You was only around
whole
when we
while
was
we
supposed
was
to
in
protect our-
Nebraska.
No, man, don't talk to me. I'm talking right now.
Don't talk to you. You are very disrespectful
You
young
been
man. That's
calling
why
me.
you
You
can't
been
be my
calling me.
son, because my
You
kids
been
ain't
calling me your son
disrespectful
this
at all.
whole time until 20
man.
years.
Yeah. Until you
Okay,
started.
so why
Yeah.
are you on here talking about my mom like this?
Hey, I'm telling the
Why
truth
are you
about your mom.
embarrassing me like this?
Oh, man.
You're embarrassing. I got a son now. My son has I pay for everything. Every week I get paid. I call my girlfriend. I'm telling her, what do you need? I don't care what
That's
it is.
good for you.
Bro, you're
You're
not
supposed
a
to do
man,
that.
bro.
I done did the
You're
same
not
for
a
you.
man.
I done did the
Not a
same for
man.
you.
He is not a man.
You was mine.
Bro, a real
You was
man
mine.
would stop being in the streets, man. And
What
man
streets
up
you
for that
talking
kid.
about, Trayvon?
You never
I've been
man up
working
for
all my
nothing.
life.
I've never had
That's
nothing
that junk
from
your
you.
mama telling
All
me.
right, hold on.
Why haven't we got child support then if you've been
I don't know
working?
why you ain't got it, because you got it in 2 different states.
No,
That's
because I
why
got
you
the
ain't
card
got
in my
it.
pocket.
I'll tell you why you haven't got it, because it's in arrears.
Exactly.
$53,000 worth.
The
don't
Nebraska-
care.
So the
Nebraska
point
don't say no
is
way.
this.
This come out of
The
Missouri.
point
I
is
don't
this.
care if
Missouri
This
don't
young
that.
man,
Nebraska don't sound on my dime.
this young man is trying to talk about what he experienced growing up. And some people can only focus on themselves.
Yes.
He has tears in his eyes as he talks about the earliest memory he has of his father is going on a bus and ending up at a strip club, but he can't get in, so he got to sit outside and wait.
It's a whole
Never
bunch
happened,
of
Your Honor.
lies and fake promises.
Never happened, Your Honor.
Let him finish the statement.
He's never held up his end of the bargain ever. He's never been.
And you feel like he did not make an effort.
Never made an effort. It's not hard. You're not just living for you now. You have to live for somebody else. Like
Yes.
I do. You know what I'm saying? I've been through some stuff, but I mean, I've been through some things, but I don't let that affect me. It does hurt me that when I was growing up, I used to look at my stepdad like, cause I used to see but that's his real kid though, my little brother. And I used to wonder, like, I used to be mad at my mom, like I still did, like, man, why? Like, you love him better than me. And it's not because of that, it's because I've never had you around. Only time you've been around and you've never taught me anything. My stepdad has taught me everything I need to know.
Your Honor, he always leaves me nasty text message. He text message me
you always
every
promise him
kind of
something and you
thing.
don't
All he
follow
talk about on text message, send him some money.
$53,000.
He said send him his money. That's all he want.
No.
Tell him you
brought
the
that
bomb,
in
you this,
liquor.
you that, you everything else. No, of course I ain't gonna do nothing. Come on, man.
Mister,
No way.
Did you
look,
wanna
this
see- I sent you
this
pictures.
court does not in any way condone young people, children being disrespectful to their parent. Let me say that first. However, let me also add, this young man has stood here today and he's talked about how this has affected him. And honestly, Mr. Conway, I didn't see you miss a beat. I mean, your mouth just running like a motor. It's like you didn't even stop to listen to this young man. And so, as much as I want to say, oh, well, there's no way this man couldn't care about this young child. There's no way he could ignore him. There's no way he wouldn't value what his feelings and emotions are. You standing here in this courtroom doing just that right in front of my face. And the truth is, with the dates you gave me on that calendar, I get why you could have doubt. I get it. Math, it's odd.
That's his math, though.
But I was just about to say, but that's based upon your recollection of the events and the times you were together. The fact is that despite these dates, you were still at the hospital and you said in court, I wanted to sign the birth certificate.
Yes.
So when I see a man say, I wanted to sign a birth certificate for a child, and yet when he's standing in this courtroom so eloquently speaking about the way your absence has affected his life, and you're not even listening.
Your Honor, I hear what he's saying.
And do you understand how it has affected him?
Yes, I do.
What he's saying, it breaks my heart, that story about how his stepfather has a child and it's his real child, and he always felt like he was on the outside. Did you hear that?
Yes, I do. I understand that, Your Honor.
So now, are we ready for the results?
I
Because
am
I
ready
most
for the
certainly am.
results.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Shoot, bring it on.
At the end of the day, the kid is not his. Let's see this, Billy.
Yeah.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Conway versus Cruse, when it comes to 20-year-old Trayvon Cruse, it has been determined by this court. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. Mr. Conway, you are his father.
That's what I'm talking about. Get your life together. Get your life together.
my life is
You ain't
together.
had no business question mine.
Yeah, I question
That's right,
it.
man.
I question it because he
We
questioned
don't want
it.
nothing from
That's something,
him.
Your Honor.
This is.
Yes, sweetheart. What would you like to say, Mr. Cruse?
I accept your apology, but honestly, after coming on this after 20 years, it's so embarrassing how you just
Yes, it
talked about
is.
my mom.
Yes, it is.
I didn't know.
When I ever like,
I didn't know.
You're my father. You're my biological father. but I don't want nothing to do with you. You're not
Thank you.
that. The way
That's
you
what you
just
want?
talked about my mom
Disrespect.
today in court, how she just did this, and
She did.
and then what you tell me on phone and what you're showing in person is different than what you're saying right now in court. So I'll forgive you,
So you can move on.
but
Trayvon, I'm sorry. I apologize, man. I really do. And I understand that you just had a new baby. And if you give me the chance, man, I know I can never make up for the time or whatever, but I do the best I can. And I'll try. And I love you, man. You can't get a hug from me, man? Please? Or a handshake or something? Can we start somewhere?
That's very nice. He's angry right now, and this may not be the day. Mr. Conway, this might not be the time. It may take you 1 week, 2 weeks, 5 months, 5 years. But if what you said today is true, humble yourself and approach this young man with love in your heart. There's a part of letting people redeem themselves that I think is important in life. All right?
All right.
So think about it, because you're a strong young man and a smart young man, and I commend you for being the father that you are. We have counseling and resources for you, and we hope that you'll take advantage of it and figure out how to go forward in a more positive way. I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court is adjourned.